the dream is always going to be there. I feel like for me, music, I always want to do that. I can never let that go in my life. Like if
Of
I do,
course.
I wouldn't know what else I would do. So for me, it's like I'm always going to try, even though like sometimes I release songs, they don't get a lot of traction. I kind of like took my mentality out of that where it's like, oh, it's going to bring me down. No one's listening. I'm not going to do this anymore. I give up. Like, because it does happen to some people.
Of
That's why
course,
it's
man. It
like you have
happens to
to.
the best of us. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's why it's like you have to shift your mentality a little and be like, you know what? I'm gonna release what I want to the world because who knows, like you said, who knows who can affect one person, affect the many people, and who knows who's
Yeah.
listening anywhere. That's why, because sometimes I even get some Instagram messages from other people say, hey, like from other countries like India, they'd be like, oh, I just heard your song randomly and like I really like it. Like keep
That's
doing what
great.
you're doing. And those kind of messages actually really motivate me to show that like people are listening in other places and actually enjoying my music, which is also a good
Of
motivator.
course,
So
man. Yeah. Well, not well.
yeah.
I always say, not to like kind of shit on those people, but you see those
Mhm.
Instagram posts where it's the group of friends or that support group that constantly like is promoting or great job, and that's great and all. Like anyone, my friends do it, your friends do it, I'm sure. But I think in
Yeah.
order to see true progress, true growth is like what you just mentioned is when you get people from the industry, when you get people from other countries reaching out to you and saying this music is dope, this music is good, because
Mhm.
um, that's a sign for me. That's an indication for me of progress because you're expanding your market, you're expanding your reach, right? If you're
100%.
posting stuff and you got the same like 6 high school people, 20 high school people going lit, fire, whatever, yeah, it's motivating, right at first. But let's be honest, we want to reach a bigger demographic. We want to reach a bigger audience. And
Mhm.
I think when you tell me like I didn't even know that about you, where you were getting DMs, right? Because how would I know? Those are personal messages.
Mhm.
But the fact that you mentioned it, I that's deserving because I hear your music, you're putting it out, you have the confidence and the courage to do it. Not a lot of people can say that for themselves, and
Mhm.
you're getting that feedback, and I'm happy you're getting it from people outside of our community. I think that's very important as an artist. Do you agree?
I 100% agree. Yeah, because it shows, like you said, it shows progress. It shows that it's actually reaching out to a whole different audience and potentially people that I can actually market to now know that will like my music.